What's up, everyone? It is Sam here, and just a bit of context and announcement about what's going to be going on with the channel from now on. So, obviously, I've come back from doing traveling over the last 2 years now. I've been back in Ireland for about 10 months or so, and I've now moved back to Cork, and just working here at the college in MTU. So basically, what I'm going to try and focus the channel around is like living in Ireland, like what it's all about. Some of the pressures that people kind of come under, whether it be like employment, whether it be like finding a house, which are some of the main things that people have problems with. Just like some tips and like tricks on like how to save money, where to like put your money, and just a bit around that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go into depth just about like the housing stuff, which is really a big problem, and it's a massive issue for people that are looking to move to Ireland as well. So there's like endless content you can kind of really make about that, and it's very interesting people that do live here and like what's causing these sorts of pressures. But also like whenever I go like traveling and stuff, I'm also going to do like a bit of travel content as well. Just going to keep on top of that sort of stuff because it's something that I enjoy doing, and I find it just interesting, and it's a good way to like actually just keep your memories and stuff. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna like get into. Like, but some of the topics like that I want to get into like is like the true cost of like living in Ireland. So Ireland is known as like this really very rich country. If you look at it like on a global scale, it's like one of the richest or second or third richest country in the world on a GDP per capita metric, which obviously is not really true. It's known as like leprechaun economics. So I want to kind of get into that and explain like what it's actually really like here, and for people that are potentially going to be looking to move here and look for employment, and like what sort of stuff you're going to really come under. So yeah, the true cost of living in Ireland is going to be like a massive part of like what I'm going to be doing going forward. Obviously going to be covering the housing crisis, like what's going on here. Is it actually impossible to buy a house? What kind of things you can like look at. So like I'm in this situation, I'm going to be looking to potentially like buy a house or buy something that like I can rent out to be able to like offset some of the rental costs. And like I'll explain like a bit about like what we're spending here on rent, and like what some of the steps that I went through basically to get this property. So I managed to get it like pretty quickly, but yeah, there's a whole video that I'm going to do a bit of explaining on that and some of the services that I use to be able to do so. So some of the other topics are like what's like working in Ireland is like, so like the wages versus the cost of living, like what's your purchasing power, how does it compare to some of the other European capitals, and like where is the best place in Europe possibly where you can get the biggest purchasing power for like low cost of living, decent wages, and just do a bit of a comparison like and see where Ireland really stands on this measure. Like, so there's a good few topics that I want to get into, including like mental like stress and like health and like well-being of like being in Ireland, and like the reality of surviving here, obviously, because you come across like a lot of bad weather. We can really get people's mood down, and it's also something to like think about like when you do come here. It's like you're going to be faced with a lot of grey days. So also like the social side of Ireland, like things that you would like to do like outside of your work, like how expensive is it to like get away from that sort of stuff, like what are the costs, like what can you do, like what are the like main attractions, that kind of things, like just to get a bit of a idea of like how much you're going to be spending like on a night out, on concert tickets, going to the cinema, just so you can get a bit of understanding about what you're going to be spending here, like unless you just want to be in your room all day like just kind of doing nothing. Like, so that's what I want to like get into. So also like we're talking about like the Irish, like the weather as I mentioned, and how it can affect your mood, and stuff that like people don't get told when they're moving to Ireland as well. Like, so there's gonna be a lot of topics, a lot of stuff to get into, mixed in with like a bit of like travel content, some sort of like financial education stuff that like I'm implementing and like what I'm doing. Just one final one I will mention, like, and that is like the transport of like getting around Ireland, like what it's like. Do you really like need a car like at all times as well? So that's just a little update on the channel, and also Gino's going to be starting his own channel just about like stuff in Dubai. Obviously, the stuff is like completely like irrelevant now, like to what we're doing. So, all that sort of stuff I'll also like post up. So, yeah, hopefully they just got a bit from this update and like what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to try and get into like a regular like posting again. It's just because like I moved down here to Cork. There was a storm here, and I wasn't able to get internet for like 6 weeks while I moved and stuff. So it's been a bit of a nightmare, and starting a new job and stuff. So hopefully we're going to get back into a more regular routine, and hopefully we're going to enjoy the content.